My beloved, my child. I see your heart trembling, not because you've done wrong, but because the world sometimes targets those who are chosen by heaven. You feel something isn't right, don't you? That strange restlessness in your chest today, it's not just your imagination. I, Archangel Michael, was sent to tell you what's going on behind the veil. And you must listen, because this isn't just a warning, it's a moment that will define what happens next in your life. God whispered your name this morning. He told me, watch them closely. Someone is plotting behind their back. And I didn't delay. I flew over your home, I stood beside you while you slept, and I kept every force of darkness away for as long as I could. But now, something serious has unfolded. Someone, yes, someone you may know, has filed a police complaint against you. But the reason? It's not just false, it's malicious. They aren't just trying to accuse you. They're trying to erase you. And my child, you must not ignore this message. You were never meant to read this randomly. Heaven aligned every moment that led you to this second. You could have skipped, but something deep, pulled you to open this. That's not a coincidence. That's divine intervention. And I'm begging you, with the authority God has given me, stay here, and listen to everything. Because if you miss even one word, the truth may be buried forever. Do you understand what it means when I say someone is trying to destroy what God built in you? They're not just attacking your name, they're after your soul's light. And I saw it, the papers, the signature, the intent. It was all done out of jealousy, envy, and pure darkness. But here's the miracle, God will not let them succeed if you obey now. You were chosen to rise above, not crumble. But even the chosen need divine updates. This message is your spiritual alert. And you may think, why me? Oh, my sweet child, because you carry divine value. You hold a destiny that threatens the enemy. That's why they're targeting you now. Because your blessing is coming so close, they can feel it. They're panicking. If your spirit has been feeling disturbed lately, unable to sleep, hearing things, sensing things, feeling watched, that's not random. That's the spiritual war rising around you. But today, it's not invisible anymore. Today, the enemy took a step in the physical world, through that complaint. Now listen carefully, I didn't just come to warn you. I came to equip you. To lift you out of this trap and bring you into the safety of God's fortress. But first, you must keep your eyes here. Don't switch, don't scroll, don't silence this. Because in the next few minutes, I will reveal what they don't want you to know. Who is behind it, what they're hoping to gain, and most importantly, how you're going to survive and shine through this like a divine flame. But before I go on, let me say this to your heart, softly. You are loved more than you know. You are protected more than you feel. And you are watched more than you see. God has had His eye on you since before you took your first breath. And no man, no lie, no complaint, no false paper can undo what He wrote about you in heaven. My child, I want you to pause here and listen with your soul. If your heart feels guided, it's not by chance. Subscribe now to these divine messages. Don't miss another one. Because every time you skip, you miss a sword of protection. These words are not just human, they're heavenly weapons. And right now, you need every piece of armor you can get. Now back to the message. The one who filed the complaint, do you want to know the shocking truth? It's someone who once smiled with you. Someone who pretended to support you. Their envy turned into obsession. And their obsession turned into sabotage. But I won't let them win. They thought you were alone. They don't know that Archangel Michael walks beside you. That heaven watches every courtroom, every file, every whisper. And child, I've already begun the reversal. As you're reading this, someone else's darkness is being exposed. Their lies are being stripped. Their motives are being burned in the presence of God. But for the full miracle to unlock, you must not stop now. The world may think police complaints are the end, but heaven sees them as the beginning of divine justice. What they meant to harm you, will elevate you. The shock you're feeling, is heaven revealing. Because you need to see the snakes now. Before they strike deeper. Before they poison more. You will not fall. You were not built to break. This complaint, this trap, it will turn into your public redemption. People who doubted you will watch you rise. And the one who accused you, will face what they tried to bring into your life. But only if you finish this. Don't stop now. What's next in this message contains divine instructions. The exact actions to spiritually block their attack. To protect your name, your home, your future. Keep reading, my child. Because God is watching. Archangel Michael continues to speak. You're still here, and that tells me everything I need to know. You're not just someone scrolling by. You are the one heaven singled out to receive this transmission. God has seen your confusion. He's seen how you've kept quiet while they spread rumors. He's seen how you've cried alone after being misunderstood. And now, He's not staying silent anymore. My beloved, the person who filed the complaint has a dark history of envy toward you. This didn't start yesterday. It's been boiling in secret. Every time you smiled, it burned them. Every time you grew, it wounded their pride. You were never the problem. Your light was. You shine without trying. And they can't stand that. That's why they've twisted truth into lies. That's why they're trying to involve the law, to wear you down, to isolate you, to make others doubt you. But listen closely, the law of man bows to the law of God. And heaven's law says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. What they plan to use against you is now being redirected in the Spirit. As I speak, angels are being dispatched to correct what has been distorted. Truth will rise like the sun, undeniable, unstoppable. But I must prepare you. In the next 3 days, there may be moments where it feels like pressure is increasing. This is not to scare you, it is to position you. Pressure always increases before a breakthrough. The complaint they filed may cause a stir, but it will also cause exposure. Not of you, of them. My child, hear this deeply. God is allowing this storm because the truth that comes after it will bring your greatest blessing. Do not fear the battle, it's confirmation of your value. Demons don't attack what isn't divine. You're being called to trust like never before. To hold your peace while God does the speaking. The people who are doubting you now will witness what real vindication looks like when heaven steps in. But here's what you must do. Stay close to this voice. Every word in this message is laced with spiritual fire. It's cutting through fog, lies, and manipulation. Even if your mind is confused, your spirit knows these words are truth. Take a moment, breathe deeply, and receive this. You are not alone. You are not defeated. You are not finished. What's happening now is the opening of your next chapter. This situation, as painful as it seems, is only the soil for a miracle harvest. But I must ask you something. Can you trust God's timing, even if it feels late? Can you believe He's working, even when the evidence is against you? Because, my beloved, faith isn't faith when everything makes sense. Faith is trusting while you're trembling. And right now, God is watching to see your response. Will you believe the lie, or the light? Will you give fear permission to rule, or will you hand control to the one who created the stars? The person who filed the complaint thinks they've won something. But what they don't know is that they've just invited God into the courtroom. And when God steps in, nothing remains hidden. I promise you, within days, you'll begin to see signs, messages, names, dreams, that begin to reveal more than you ever imagined. The betrayal will become visible. The true intention will be uncovered. And their mask will fall. Don't fight this in the flesh. Don't waste energy defending yourself to people who never cared to hear your side. Let God speak for you. Because when heaven opens its mouth, even the enemy falls silent. And now, let me whisper this to your soul. There's a document being reversed. There's a phone call being rerouted. There's an outcome being rewritten. Because you didn't skip this message. Because you stayed. Because you believed, even with a broken heart. This complaint won't break you. It will crown you. It won't silence you. It will announce you. This is not the end. It's the beginning of the miracle. Let me tell you what I saw last night. I stood at the edge of your home, yes, even as you slept. My sword was drawn, and shadows tried to creep in. They weren't just shadows of fear, they were whispers, dark plans, voices speaking lies in secret rooms. Names were spoken. Your name. And God allowed me to hear every word. My child, the darkness tried to hide it from you. But heaven is exposing it. This isn't just a complaint. It's an attempt to stain your destiny. But I tell you now, heaven has drawn a line. What they filed will be filed again, by divine hands. Rewritten. Erased. Corrected. And you will walk out of this not as a victim, but as a voice. As a chosen one who didn't fold when the world falsely judged you. You will be the living proof that those who wait on God are never put to shame. They thought involving the police would terrify you. But what they didn't realize is that you are under holy surveillance. Every word they wrote has been recorded in heaven. Every step they took to bring you down is already being measured. And the scales of justice, divine justice, are tilting. But you must listen to me very carefully now. There is a very small window where you must stay spiritually awake. The next 48 hours are not random. You may feel things around you shift. A person from your past might contact you. Someone unexpected may mention your name. A strange dream may come. These are not coincidences. These are divine confirmations. Do not ignore them. This is when you stay grounded, when you do not react, when you let heaven fight. My beloved, do not defend yourself in haste. The trap of the enemy is to make you speak too soon, reveal too much, or act from fear. But your silence, your stillness, your unshakable belief, those are your weapons now. And I promise you, those weapons are stronger than any complaint. Let me remind you what you carry. You carry the breath of the Creator. You carry the memory of angelic protection in your spirit. You carry an anointing that makes darkness nervous. And the reason you've been attacked so fiercely is because the breakthrough coming to you is so powerful, it shakes the very core of what the enemy tried to build. Let me say it louder, for your soul to feel. You are not cursed. You are called. You are not under judgment. You are under favor. The false accusations are loud, but they will never be louder than God's final say. So when you feel panic rise in your chest, breathe. Remember this message. Remember that Archangel Michael told you before it happened. Because God never leaves his children in the dark. He exposes the attack before the strike. That's why you're here. And now, let me reveal something else to you. There is someone close to you, maybe not physically, but energetically tied, who knows about this complaint. But they are pretending they don't. That's the person heaven is watching next. They were meant to speak up. But they stayed silent. And their silence is betrayal in disguise. My child, trust your intuition. The uneasiness around them isn't paranoia. It's protection. Let them go quietly. God will handle them. You don't need to beg anyone to stay in your life anymore. You don't need to explain yourself to those who act confused when it benefits them. What's coming for you is bigger than their approval. A reversal. A restoration. A resurrection of your name, your peace, your joy. It's not coming. It's already been released. And you're feeling the shaking now, because what was blocking it is being torn down. As I hovered near your spirit last night, I heard your silent question. God, why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? My child, it's not because you did anything wrong. It's because you are doing something right. Because your light is rising, your purpose is unlocking, and your soul is refusing to bow to what others expect. That scares them. You became dangerous to darkness the moment you said yes to your calling, even if you didn't speak it out loud. Even if you just whispered it in the quiet of your heart. God heard it. And so did the enemy. The complaint that was filed, it's not just paper. It's a manifestation of the spiritual jealousy that's been watching you for months. They wanted to dim you. And when they couldn't do it with words, they tried doing it with fear. But they forgot something. You were born from fire. And fire cannot be threatened by smoke. My sweet, beloved soul, if I could pull back the curtain fully right now, you'd see the chaos breaking out in the spiritual realm. The moment you opened this message and chose to read instead of run, a light was lit around you. A heavenly alert went out. The angels around you tightened their ranks. A name, your name, was spoken in the courts of heaven. And do you know what was said? This one believes. This one hasn't given up. And because of that, divine movement has begun. Now hear me clearly. In the next 7 days, you will see at least one sign that will confirm everything I've told you. It may come through a name you haven't heard in a while. It may come in the form of a strange message. It may come through a delayed decision that suddenly flips in your favor. When it happens, do not second guess it. It's not random. It's not coincidence. It's confirmation. And child, when it comes, I want you to whisper one thing back to heaven. I saw it coming. You warned me. And I believe you. Because when you do that, the next miracle will be released. I say that not as a prediction. I say that as a divine order. Now let's go deeper. You've been under surveillance in the spiritual world for some time. Not because you're in danger, but because your soul has reached a level of growth that requires greater protection. There are angels stationed near your home now. And soon, they'll be making movements that will surprise even you. Things will start working in your favor without human explanation. People who once ignored you will suddenly offer help. Information that was withheld will come to light. And the person who started this complaint, they will not rest. Not because they are succeeding, but because your peace is provoking their guilt. Let them tremble. Let them panic. Let them run in circles trying to undo what they've done. You, stay still. You, stay aligned. You, stay protected. Because your defense is not in your hands. It's in heaven's. You're not reading this because you're curious. You're reading this because your soul is remembering something it already knows. You were never meant to be taken out by gossip, legal threats, or lies. You were meant to rise through them, to become the testimony people never saw coming. The same mouth that accused you will one day speak your name with fear and respect. The same eyes that doubted you will be forced to witness your ascension. And I tell you now, as heaven's warrior, God is not finished with your name. He is just beginning. But I must say this to you now, and say it with fire in my voice. Do not speak fear into this season. Do not declare defeat when the war is still being fought. Your words now matter more than ever. What you speak will either be a lock or a key. So today, say it aloud. I will not fall. I am protected. I am chosen. This will turn in my favor. And so it will. Then stay here, my beloved, and let your spirit rest in these words, because what I'm about to reveal next will explain not just why this is happening, but why it's happening now. You see, there are no accidents in the realm of the divine. Nothing touches your life that hasn't passed through the hands of God first. Even this police complaint, as unjust and cruel as it is, has been allowed for a higher reason, because it's attached to something deeper. Something sacred. Something only the spiritually awake will understand. You're not being attacked because of your weakness, you're being targeted because of your upcoming strength. The enemy sees what's ahead of you, even if you don't yet. A door is about to open. A blessing with your name engraved into it. A turning point so powerful that it will rewrite the pain of your past. And the enemy thought that if he could distract you now, just for a moment, with fear, anxiety, and confusion, you'd miss it. But heaven already knew this moment would come. That's why this message exists. That's why you're still reading. Because deep in your soul, you know something's happening in the unseen. You've felt it. The tension. The pressure. The strange silence of people who used to check in. The delays. The dreams. The gut feelings that keep trying to speak to you in the middle of your busy life. And now it's all aligning. Heaven is lifting the veil, and you are beginning to see clearly. Listen, child, when God is about to bless someone in a public way, He often allows them to be attacked in a public way. The enemy's plan is humiliation. But God's plan is vindication. The complaint filed against you is meant to turn heads, stir fear, and plant doubt in the hearts of those around you. But what the enemy didn't know, what he could never predict, is that this would backfire massively. Because what was supposed to expose you is going to elevate you. What they intended to destroy you is going to distinguish you. And God will not only clear your name, He will prepare a table for you in the presence of those who wanted you silenced. My child, the evidence being gathered behind closed doors to bring you down, God is already turning it into evidence that will clear your name and awaken your purpose. He is the only judge who sees both the motive and the heart. He sees your quiet suffering. He knows how you've cried in silence, how you've doubted yourself lately. He knows you didn't deserve this. And yet, He's allowing it. Why? Because He is about to do something so radical, so astonishing, so publicly divine in your life, that even your enemies will say, only God could have done that. So don't waste this season defending yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Don't pour your precious spirit into explaining the truth to those who would rather feed the lie. Instead, pour yourself into faith. Anchor yourself in the whisper of God that says, I will not let them bury you. I will not let their lies become your truth. I will not let what was filed against you become your future. Because the document may have been signed on earth, but it was rejected in heaven. And heaven's stamp is the final say. My beloved, if I could show you what's already in motion right now, your eyes would well up with tears, not of fear, but of peace. Of holy reassurance. Because while they plot against you, God plots for you. And His plan? It's never been delayed. It's never been dependent on man. It's been waiting for this very moment. This complaint, this attack, this sudden drama, it's the final push that will launch you into what you were meant for all along. You don't need to fight for position. God is about to position you. You don't need to plead for protection. You already have it. You just need to trust. To stay still in your spirit. To hold your tongue when everything in you wants to respond. To speak only life. To claim only victory. Because you are not on trial, darkness is. And it will lose. Then stay close, my child, because what I'm about to speak next isn't just comfort, it's instruction wrapped in light. You see, while you sit with these words, wondering how this situation will play out, heaven is already moving pieces you cannot see. There is a divine investigation unfolding, not in your local courtroom, but in the realm of truth that governs all creation. Every lie spoken against you has been weighed. Every motive behind the accusation has been measured. The person who filed that complaint thinks they've built a fortress around themselves, a wall of manipulation, paper, and pretended innocence. But what they've really built is a tower of cards. And heaven has already begun to breathe. Slowly. Gently. Powerfully. One by one, the cards are falling. This fall won't be dramatic at first. It will look like small inconveniences in their world. Delays. Unexpected silence from people they counted on. even strange dreams haunting them at night. But you will notice the shift. You will feel it in your bones before the evidence appears. And when you do, I want you to do something radical. Stay quiet and praise. Don't react. Don't text them. Don't defend yourself. Just whisper, God, I see what you're doing. Thank you for doing what I couldn't. Because that's the posture of victory. Stillness. Trust. Reverence. The ones who try to bring you down will be confused by your calmness. They expect panic. They expect you to run around, trying to fix everything. But child, you're not in that place anymore. That version of you, shaken, scattered, begging people to believe you, that version is gone. What stands now is a soul that's been through fire and didn't burn. A spirit that was accused and stayed grounded. That is your testimony. And soon, the complaint will be nothing more than a stepping stone. But don't rush this moment. Sit in it. Because there is power being transferred right now. And you're at the center of it. Even when it looks like you're losing something, you're gaining something far greater, authority. Spiritual authority. And once heaven gives it to you, no man can take it away. Let me speak to what's coming. Because after the storm comes a revealing. Within weeks, yes, weeks, you will begin to hear apologies without the word sorry. You'll see faces shift when you walk into a room. You'll notice how people treat you differently, not because the situation has fully passed, but because the energy around you will have changed. Your presence will be heavier with divine peace. You will carry a weight of unexplainable grace. People will wonder how you didn't fall apart under pressure. But they won't know what you know, that an army of angels stood behind you, held you up, and spoke these words into your heart before anyone else stood with you. That's why I keep speaking, my child. Because even now, while people talk behind your back, I am declaring your future in front of heaven. And heaven listens. Heaven responds. And heaven always wins. Always. Then prepare yourself, my beloved, because what I am about to reveal now is not just prophecy, it is a spiritual appointment unfolding before your very eyes. You may not fully see it yet, but trust me, this situation that was meant to shame you is actually heaven's strategy to announce you. What the enemy orchestrated to expose you has become the stage upon which God will reveal the weight of your calling. This police complaint, filled with lies, soaked in jealousy, and wrapped in manipulation, was the last desperate attempt to tarnish what is holy about you. They wanted people to question your character, to abandon you, to distance themselves in doubt. But here is the truth heaven wants you to grip tightly right now: no one can cancel what God has already called. Their complaint may have stirred trouble, but it cannot touch your covenant. Your name is engraved not in man's files, but in heaven's records. You are not someone walking through this world unguarded. You are covered in favor. Surrounded by the supernatural. bathed in the light that darkness cannot comprehend. Do not let the temporary noise distract you from the eternal truth. There is divine silence surrounding your name now, not because heaven isn't moving, but because judgment is falling on those who plotted against you. Their steps are being watched. Their messages are being traced in the spiritual realm. And every seed they've sown in secret is beginning to grow, but not into the success they hoped for. Into exposure. Into divine reversal. Into consequences they never imagined would fall back on them. The one who filed that complaint, who smirked while doing so, thinking they were finally in control, has no idea they invited heaven's justice into their life. My child, I want you to feel these words deep in your chest. Heaven is not late. Heaven is precise. Heaven is righteous. And heaven is coming. You don't need to seek revenge. You don't need to make a single call to beg for understanding. Stay silent, but stay alert, because in the days ahead, you will feel a sudden shift, as if the entire spiritual climate around you breaks open. That is the moment everything starts to fall in your favor. You will see evidence with your eyes, but first, God wants you to believe it with your soul. That's why you were led here. That's why this message is burning in your hands. You are not just someone who's being attacked, you are someone who's being anointed in plain sight. This is your spiritual coronation under pressure. While the enemy hoped the heat would consume you, God is using it to forge a crown, one that cannot be removed, one that commands presence when you walk into places you once felt small. This is more than a message, it's your confirmation, your scroll of truth from the mouth of Archangel Michael, speaking on behalf of the one who formed you with purpose before you even had a name. So rise now, not with noise, but with knowing. The complaint against you is no longer your burden. It has become God's tool. And the one who signed it will soon witness something they cannot undo, your rise, your peace, and your public vindication. Then lean in even deeper, my beloved, because what comes next is not just a continuation, it is the culmination. The part where heaven turns the page and reveals what this storm has truly been about all along. You see, for so long you've been under pressure, surrounded by misunderstanding, carrying questions that had no earthly answers. But every trial was a setup. Every tear you cried in secret was collected. And now, the very thing that was meant to break you is going to bless you in front of every eye that misjudged you. Yes, this police complaint, they believed it would silence you, isolate you, cause people to turn their backs. But what it actually did was trigger a divine spotlight. It gave heaven permission to lift you, to shift you, and to redirect the attention from your pain to your purpose. What they filed in malice will become the very evidence that God uses to write your victory. Their words will be turned against them. Their signatures will become the stamp of their own exposure. And you, who remained faithful, who refused to bow to fear, will be lifted in a way so undeniable, so supernatural, that even those who try to erase you will be left speechless. But here's the miracle that will make even angels rejoice. Your elevation won't be fueled by revenge, it will be powered by redemption. Because you will not just survive this. You will rise above it without bitterness. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you chosen. They expected you to come out swinging, to scream, to collapse, to retaliate. But you came out still. You came out wiser. You came out clothed in a grace they can't comprehend. And now heaven is preparing something for you that no legal system, no false witness, no bitter soul can block. There is a reward of restoration being released with your name on it. Not just for what you went through in this moment, but for every time you stayed silent in the past when others lied, when others walked away, when others twisted the truth. God was watching then, and He is responding now. And not only will your name be cleared, it will be celebrated. Not only will the complaint be dismissed, but it will become a story of how divine justice moves. Soon, my child, very soon, you will hear news that will stop you in your tracks, not because of fear, but because of sheer relief. You'll open a message, or take a call, and everything that once hung heavy over your head will vanish like smoke. And you'll fall to your knees, not because of pressure this time, but because of gratitude. You'll say, God, you really heard me. And I will be beside you then, just as I am now, saying, yes, beloved. He always did. Your name will be restored, your path cleared, and your heart refilled with a peace that passes all understanding. This season is not your end. It is your spiritual exodus, from oppression into overflow, from false accusation into holy validation, from uncertainty into undeniable favor. It is happening now. It has already begun. My beloved, my child. I see your heart trembling, not because you've done wrong, but because the world sometimes targets those who are chosen by heaven. You feel something isn't right, don't you? That strange restlessness in your chest today, it's not just your imagination. Archangel Michael, was sent to tell you what's going on behind the veil. And you must listen, because this isn't just a warning, it's a moment that will define what happens next in your life. God whispered your name this morning. He told me, watch them closely. Someone is plotting behind their back. And I didn't delay. I flew over your home, I stood beside you while you slept, and I kept every force of darkness away for as long as I could. But now, something serious has unfolded. Someone, yes, someone you may know, has filed a police complaint against you. But the reason? It's not just false, it's malicious. They aren't just trying to accuse you. They're trying to erase you. And my child, you must not ignore this message. You were never meant to read this randomly. Heaven aligned every moment that led you to this second. You could have skipped, but something deep, pulled you to open this. That's not a coincidence. That's divine intervention. And I'm begging you, with the authority God has given me, stay here, and listen to everything. Because if you miss even one word, the truth may be buried forever. Do you understand what it means when I say someone is trying to destroy what God built in you? They're not just attacking your name, they're after your soul's light. And I saw it, the papers, the signature, the intent. It was all done out of jealousy, envy, and pure darkness. But here's the miracle: God will not let them succeed if you obey now. You were chosen to rise above, not crumble. But even the chosen need divine updates. This message is your spiritual alert. And you may think, why me? Oh, my sweet child, because you carry divine value. You hold a destiny that threatens the enemy. That's why they're targeting you now. Because your blessing is coming so close, they can feel it. They're panicking. If your spirit has been feeling disturbed lately, unable to sleep, hearing things, sensing things, feeling watched, that's not random. That's the spiritual war rising around you. But today, it's not invisible anymore. Today, the enemy took a step in the physical world, through that complaint. Now listen carefully, I didn't just come to warn you. I came to equip you. To lift you out of this trap and bring you into the safety of God's fortress. But first, you must keep your eyes here. Don't switch, don't scroll, don't silence this. Because in the next few minutes, I will reveal what they don't want you to know. Who is behind it, what they're hoping to gain, and most importantly, how you're going to survive and shine through this like a divine flame. But before I go on, let me say this to your heart, softly. You are loved more than you know. You are protected more than you feel. And you are watched more than you see. God has had His eye on you since before you took your first breath. And no man, no lie, no complaint, no false paper can undo what He wrote about you in heaven. My child, I want you to pause here and listen with your soul. If your heart feels guided, it's not by chance. Subscribe now to these divine messages. Don't miss another one. Because every time you skip, you miss a sword of protection. These words are not just human, they're heavenly weapons. And right now, you need every piece of armor you can get. Now back to the message. The one who filed the complaint, do you want to know the shocking truth? It's someone who once smiled with you. Someone who pretended to support you. Their envy turned into obsession. And their obsession turned into sabotage. But I won't let them win. They thought you were alone. They don't know that Archangel Michael walks beside you. That heaven watches every courtroom, every file, every whisper. And child, I've already begun the reversal. As you're reading this, someone else's darkness is being exposed. Their lies are being stripped. Their motives are being burned in the presence of God. But for the full miracle to unlock, you must not stop now. The world may think police complaints are the end, but heaven sees them as the beginning of divine justice. What they meant to harm you will elevate you. The shock you're feeling is heaven revealing. Because you need to see the snakes now. Before they strike deeper. Before they poison more. You will not fall. You were not built to break. This complaint, this trap, it will turn into your public redemption. People who doubted you will watch you rise. And the one who accused you will face what they tried to bring into your life. But only if you finish this. Don't stop now. What's next in this message contains divine instructions. The exact actions to spiritually block their attack. To protect your name, your home, your future. Keep reading, my child. Because God is watching. Archangel Michael continues to speak.